copied and pasted a bunch of it, but I had sources and like all this stuff. Well, he yesterday was looking at his grades, and there was a 0 in the spot for that paper, and he was like, well, that couldn't be right. Like, he probably just messed it up. Like, whatever, I'll go check it out tomorrow. He went in today, and the teacher had printed out the website that I used and his paper and was like, yeah, this is way too similar. Like, I gave you a 0 for plagiarism.
You sit there 1 second.
Well, there's that.
Yeah. Okay, now FYI, the microphones are picking up everything around here.
Nice.
So crew has got to be real quiet, okay? We're fine with that noise, but everybody up here has got to be quiet. You're freaking me out.
I got one last question on my list of questions. When the packages are rolling, are you guys just going to tell us when it starts and then when it ends? All right, what are we going to do for the VOSOT?
Okay, you're going to have to watch your camera person.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Is the copy okay there, or do you want?
Yeah, so this one.
Okay, lose the copy. You can put it on the floor. Lose the copy.
And then there was there was that one note about that VOSOT. I don't remember what it was.
This one, is that the Quidditch?
Is Quidditch a package or a VOSOT?
We don't have the thing for it.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, so just go ahead and cut Quidditch. Matt. Matt Lee. Is Matt deaf? Matt, are you deaf? Matt, you deaf? Can you hear me, Matt? Can you hear me? Matt? Matt? What's it called? We'll probably have to cut the Quidditch VOSOT
because we don't have the script for the
we don't have the script for
VOSOT.
it.
Okay, so
Yeah, we have to cut Quidditch. I mean, yeah, let's just cut it.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, Matt did not read the full thing because he would have seen the question. I took a Snapchat and I was like, new facial hair, who this?
It looks good.
It's new. I was like, I sat in the chair. He was like, what you want to do? I was like, just leave the goatee. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to try from there.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty. My hands are ashy.
I'm just sad.
Why?
He's so mad. Like, he's not even talking to me. Like, I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, and he was like, I mean, it's not your fault. Like, I should have just done it. Like, I just didn't know you plagiarized the whole thing.
I didn't know you would plagiarize the whole thing. Like, maybe part of the whole thing. That's
and I was
funny.
like, well, did you read it? And he was like, no. I just turned it in.
Alright, so
Maybe he'll make a B though on his final. He didn't study because he didn't think he had like a C in the class, so like all he had to do was make at least a D to like and be fine.
If he had gotten a
But now he has that zero. If he doesn't make a B, he fails.
damn. Life comes at you fast sometimes.
Man, I'm the worst.
No.
That's what I get for trying to be nice.
Yeah.
Should it be nice? Like, fuck it. Should have just been like, no, write your own damn
Write your own damn paper. That's what I would have said.
Well, at first that's what I did say. But then when he didn't do it, and he was like driving back, he's like, man, like, I'm just gonna have to do it late and like turn it in for like a lower grade. Like, and I was like, I'll do it. And I just,
that's where you fucked up?
Yeah, I just shouldn't have
That's
done
where
it.
you fucked up?
Or I should have just done it for real.
Yeah, yeah.
But
or no, make it.
But it wasn't. He was like, he doesn't look at it, like he doesn't upload it to like a scan thing or anything
You
like that.
saw.
So I thought I was fine, and literally he just looked up the first source and found the whole paper.
Hey Matt, did you hear about the Quidditch story? Cool. Hey Norts. So, will they be able to see? Oh, I didn't see that.
Stop.
Are we on air right now?
No, I don't think so. I
The
need to
TV's
like
up.
put this somewhere. Hey, can
Yeah.
you catch this and put it over there? Okay.
Will they be able to hear us is my real question.
I don't know.
All right, cool. All right, so if you fuck up, we make fun of you.
But are they gonna like edit this? Like, do we have time to fuck? Like, can we fuck up?
I don't know.
Or is it like live?
I would think we're going basically live. I'm just gonna pretend it's live all the way through.
I know I forgot to do something last night. My damn milk cards. I can't throw them at the screen. Can you hear me now? Do you believe? What's up? What's up? You have a budget?
I literally like can't see anything.
Oh, is the light that bright on?
Yeah, it's my eyes are so sensitive.
Want to switch sides?
I don't think it'll matter.
Is that not bright? Yeah. Ready as ever. Off the cuff.
I'm scared.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm just not doing well today anyway, so I don't feel like this is like a good start.
Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to Winthrop Close-Up Best Of Show. I'm Kevin Owusu.
And I'm Pagan Glenn, and today we're going to take you through this semester's best stories and our favorites of the semester.
All right, to start off, we're actually going to do a story that was shot by our director today, Matt Lee. It's the JFK story. It's about the JFK papers being released. She doesn't know anything about the JFK papers being released. We're actually going to go ahead and roll the clip for you guys to take a look at.
22nd, 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald in
No,
Dallas.
this is not what
2
we
days
did last
later,
night.
Oswald was killed by Jack Ruby.
Just keep rolling.
Since
Just
then,
gotta
these
keep
events
rolling.
have been a topic
Okay.
of much speculation, and the release of the previously classified documents has been huge for historians.
Well, there are other pieces of the puzzle filling in the record. Unfortunately, we did not have all the pieces of the puzzle yet, and I was tremendously disappointed that some of the documents were withheld.
The National Archive has released approximately 3,000 documents pertaining to the assassination of JFK. However, the CIA has withheld approximately 18,000 documents to make redactions to them in the name of national security.
There's a part of me that has very little confidence that there's going to be an answer revealed. But then there's another part of me that says, well, if they keep hiding these things, there must be something there that's of interest.
What his relationship was with the Soviet Union, what his relationship was with Cuba, why was he going to Mexico, what was it he was trying to do there. So we were on the trail, and that's clear in the documents that have been released, but then there are these gaps in the trail. So Tell us the rest of the story.
While the initial 3,000 documents did not satisfy the investigators, there were some interesting pieces to the puzzle brought up.
One document I think kind of piqued my interest, where they were interviewing the head of the CIA about whether Oswald had any activities with the CIA or the FBI prior to this assassination, because there's some theory that he did. And what's interesting about that document is they ask him the question, and then the document ends right there.
The assassination of JFK has been one of the most secretive events in history, and those secrets might be finally coming to light under heavy redaction. This has been Matthew Lee.
So 18,000 documents were not released.
Yeah, only 300 were released, and that makes you wonder, like, what is in all those documents?
Yeah.
Who's going to have to go through all those?
Somebody's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
Speaking of documents, imagine if tweets counted as those documents.
That's right, and as you guys know, our president, Donald Trump, is a very avid tweeter. This year, the controversy over the NFL taking a knee has been one of the major things that everyone's tweeting about.
Yeah.
And Taylor Simpson is going to take a look at one of our top stories as he went on campus and got people's opinions for those tweets.
And I have to say, Taylor, like, your story, the Trump story, is my favorite story of the semester.
Appreciate it. Just dealing with Donald Trump, you know, with the NFL, there's a lot of controversy with him talking about how people are not standing up for the flag and how they were in the back while the national anthem was playing and how they were kneeling. And this brought a lot of attention to the NFL, that the NFL might have wanted, but they're trying to do this for racial injustice. What Trump thought they were doing is against the military and other things. So I took the campus to see what some of the people on campus thought about this issue.
So let's go ahead and roll that clip.
President Trump is known for his love of Twitter, and recently his tweets about the national anthem and professional athletes has stirred up different reactions.
The flag protests, an athlete taking a knee during the national anthem, it's a silent, peaceful protest. They're not disrupting the game, they're not interrupting the game, they're not doing anything that would harm anybody's enjoyment of the competition.
It all started at a rally when Trump said,
"Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!"
Then Trump added tweets saying if a player wants the privilege of making millions of dollars in the NFL or other leagues, he or she should not be allowed to disrespect our great American flag and should stand for the national anthem. If not, you're fired. Find something else to do.
This country is built off slavery, and my biggest thing is that we can support that, like Nazis. We can support the Confederate flag. You know, people can support the Confederate flag. They can march and do what they did at Charlottesville. But when we do a kneel against the flag, then that's a problem.
And since that story's been run, we've come to find out that the players aren't going to be punished for any protesting.
That's right.
And recent news, the NFL has also gave the Players Association $89 million to make their platform even bigger for these issues of social injustice and to help deal with these issues. So it's good for the NFL to give back to the players too.
Yeah, it's definitely a smart move for the NFL with all the boycotts and things like that. So at least the players will have the opportunity to, speak their minds and things like that too.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Taylor.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day. All right, next up, we are going to talk about punishment in the form of sexual assault and dealing with Title IX. You know what Title IX is?
I'm not super familiar with Title IX. I know it's about the equalities and things like that within school and sports, but I'm not really updated with the sexual assault case.
You know about the least known aspect of Title IX.
Are you surprised?
Well, yes, it does deal with equality in regards to sports and on campuses. It also deals with sexual assault cases. And one of the stories I did this semester was talking about how Betsy DeVos, the new Secretary of Education, was going to roll back some of the Obama-era rules and regulations put in during the Obama administration dealing with Title IX. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that real quick.
Check it out.
As this affects Winthrop students directly, we decided to approach Assistant Dean of Students Anthony Davis and Winthrop's Title IX Coordinator, Dr. Kimberly Faust. Dean Davis refrained from commenting until he'd received the final guidance, but Dr. Faust did release a statement stating that an important element in Winthrop's policy is equity in investigatory processes and hearings, and that throughout any university investigation of a violation of this policy, including at any hearing, the reporting party and the respondent will have equity in the process, which includes calling witnesses, presenting information, as well as the option of having advisors present at all proceedings.
One thing that is causing the most question, and the thing that she could do in terms of guidance, is change the standard of evidence.
To say that the U.S. Department of Education would provide interim information, and that until she received that information, she was not in any position to discuss them. So since then, there have been some changes. Actually, the week after I ran this story, there was another update, and the Department of Education did put out the changes. And what it did, it changed the level of what's the word I'm looking for? The evidence. It changed level of evidence to preponderance of evidence, which means you need basically guilty without a doubt for there to be any sort of ruling on sexual assault on the college campus.
Which is kind of unfortunate, but hopefully, you know, with all the sexual assault cases coming out in the public and in the media these days, hopefully these people that are affected by that can branch out and get their word across in time to serve justice for their case.
Yeah, exactly. Any other changes to talk about while we're on changes?
There are some changes going on in the Rock Hill community. We've had an ongoing project here in Rock Hill, and our very own Rasmus RSL took us to the streets, and we're going to find out more about this up-and-coming change.
I'm here at City Hall, where plans about starting a transit system in the city of Rock Hill has been an ongoing discussion for years. The local government is finally close to an efficient and cheap solution for taxpayers.
The city of Rock Hill gets federal funding every year that we can use for transit, and we haven't been using it. We've been sending it back to the federal government. So city council decided they wanted to try to use that money, keep it here in Rock Hill, and start a bus system.
The need for a transit system was brought up through the citizen survey, which is conveyed every third year. The project is now moving into its final stage.
We have gotten approval from the Federal Transit Administration for our system. So as soon as we choose a manufacturer, we'll just be basically on their timeline. We'd be looking at probably the end of 2018, early 2019.
The bus system will be completely fare-free for everyone, as it will be funded by the federal government. Deputy City Manager Jimmy Bagley describes one of the routes the buses will take.
7 buses will run 4 routes. One of those routes will be more of a downtown route, and that's going to basically take everybody from Fountain Park area, catch Winthrop, new sports arena that's going on at the old bleacher site.
As an attempt to limit the climate impact, the buses will all be electric. There will be free Wi-Fi on board, and the buses can be tracked through a phone app. This has been Rasmus RSL, Winthrop Close-Up.
You know, I for one think that this is going to be a huge improvement for Rock Hill and both the Winthrop communities. I know, especially taking that trip to Charlotte, the transit's definitely going to be really helpful for students in particular.
Especially going out on a Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. Don't have to drive up. Let's go. So, any other changes going on in the Rock Hill community?
There actually are some new changes in the Rock Hill community. I did a story myself on the pay cuts that new teachers are going to be taking as their first year in this year.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that.
The South Carolina House Senate panel will change the future retirement plans for all new South Carolina employees. For South Carolina teachers, this could be the beginning of the 401k hybrid retirement plan.
Well, I retired last year, so I didn't have the opportunity to get on the new South Carolina retirement program, but I would love to have had that opportunity because it sounds like it's going to be better for the new teachers coming in.
A pension-style plan, which guarantees a set monthly payment to retirees and an additional 401k-like option, will require workers to be more responsible for their retirement savings. Under the new South Carolina Optional Retirement Program, state workers and teachers are required to contribute 9% of their paychecks towards their retirement, and the state contributes 5% of their salaries.
As a new teacher, I don't love the fact that they're going to be taking more money out of my check. But in the long run, I am kind of happy that I did come in when they switched the plans over, because now I'm going to be making more for my retirement, and so this will be a better plan for me.
So what this means for new teachers is that they'll start a 401k plan, meaning that more money will come out of their checks monthly, but in the long run, they'll have more for retirement.
A teacher for 14 years, and although I'm glad that they're going to honor our retirement plan, I think it's going to be a great and beneficial program for new teachers.
The 401k option is intended to be better because the state's obligations end with its contribution to the employee's retirement account compared to the current pension system, which the state has to make a set payment every month for as long as the retiree lives. So the state and taxpayers never know exactly how much they'll have to pay out. I'm Peggy Glenn, Winthrop Plus Up.
Those are pretty big changes. I know, my mom is a teacher, and my aunt was a teacher up in North Carolina. So I don't think they'd be big fans of that themselves, but because they've been teaching for so long.
Yeah. Well, my mom and sister are also teachers, and my sister, she's actually going to be in this new 401k plan as her first year as a teacher at Lancaster High School. So she'll get a part of these pay cuts, but hopefully it will benefit her in the long run when she does plan on retiring.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we'll talk about fun things going on in the community. No, this is the audience. We come back, we talk about full spectrum, and then we talk about rep price, then sip and paint.
And then the fair, and then you.
Cool. Where's my book bag? I need my chapstick. I am dying. Josh. Never mind, I don't know what my book bag is. More or less. Well, welcome back. Again, I'm Kevin Owusu.
And I'm Peggy Glenn.
All right, so that first part of the news section was certainly depressing.
Yeah, we're going to spice things up a little bit with a little bit more fun. I did another story on the Full Spectrum Brewing Company in Fort Mill, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how they paired with our Winthrop Athletics program in hopes to get people out in the community and with Winthrop as well.
Fort Mill's Full Spectrum Brewing Company has introduced its newest craft beer, the Reaper Roast Amber. The beer features coffee roasted in Fort Mill and the Carolina Reaper, the world's hottest pepper, which is produced by Pucker Bucket Pepper Company, which is also in Fort Mill.
Being from Fort Mill, I know that there are a lot of Winthrop alumni here in Fort Mill, and this was a way to get people connected back to the university. I think a lot of times people think Winthrop's so far away, and this is right down the street. Amazing athletic program, and it continues to grow every year. So this was kind of a way for us to be a lighting rod to attract people back to the university. So we reached out to the athletic department, got it set up. Ken Halpin, the new AD down at Winthrop, is just amazing. Having a really good time working with them.
The department announced it has entered into a partnership with Fort Mill's Full Spectrum Brewing Company, designated the company as the official craft brewery of Winthrop Athletics. Members of the Winthrop family, as well as athletics, all came out to enjoy the new arrival.
I love Full Spectrum. They're very accommodating. They are a great place to work with and collaborate. They've got great beer, and we just love hanging out here.
Full Spectrum is not only a great way to give back to the Winthrop athletic program, but also has a great family-friendly atmosphere in the middle of Fort Mill to enjoy great craft beers and company.
We started our partnership with Full Spectrum. I got to meet Charles right when I got here to Winthrop. He's an alum, and he's a really creative and entrepreneurial individual, and started a brewery right here in Fort Mill, Fort Mill's First. I came here from the Pacific Northwest, where craft beer is a really big deal, so we had a natural love for craft beer and started talking about a number of things. And as he got to know more of the folks in our athletic department, and we got to know more of the things he's trying to do, we were able to just come together on some really creative partnership ideas to help grow both brands together in a responsible way. And so that's this is the first of many, where one of the things we're hoping to do is get more and more Fort Millians excited to come down to basketball games and excited to enjoy events at Winthrop.
I'm taking Lynn, Winthrop Close Up.
So did you try out the beer while you were there?
I actually didn't get to try out the new beer. When I went, it still had not debuted yet, but as of homecoming week, the Liquid Gold beer did come out, so hopefully a lot of the Winthrop students got a chance to taste that.
Wait, so like even after it came out, you still didn't try it?
I haven't yet. I haven't been back to the
You got to
brewing
follow
company.
through on your story.
I know.
Well, let's talk about something a little closer to home. So we have a lot of things going on outside of the Winthrop community that ties back to Winthrop, like the Full Spectrum Brewing Company trying to connect with Winthrop. Well, we also have an organization on campus that does that all the time, DSU. DSU has a bunch of events all the time, movie nights, they bring in musicians, they have a lot of movie nights, and one of the things we're going to talk about, Director Matt Lee did a story on Rhett Price. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at Rhett Price.
It was cool because we were playing really big shows. I played shows with 10,000 people with them, 20, I mean like these really, really big shows, big festivals and everything. But I always like, I don't know, there was like something missing. Viral videos are what kind of got me started. I was homeless for a little while because it's hard. I mean, when no one knows who you are, it's hard making money playing music. And so I was playing in the subways in Boston and making a little bit of money. We put all of my money into this video. I had a film student come film a video of me and my buddy playing in the subway, and I gave her $300 for it. And then in a week, we were on the front page of Huffington Post and 17 magazine and everywhere. It was all over the place.
Are you gonna buy his album? It comes out in the spring.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check it out. I'm not really big on violin music, but you know, I thought that was pretty impressive, so I'll definitely have to give it a look.
You're just gonna sit here and lie to me in my face about buying the man's album.
Okay, well, you know I don't have a CD player in my car or anything, and probably not gonna hit it up on iTunes, but it's really great. So if he comes back to DSU, I'll have to check it out.
You're graduating. You're not. That's a lie. You're just on there lying. So we're gonna move on now. Sip and Paint is one of the events that happens. ABEVI is one of the organizations on campus, and I guess you sip and you paint.
Well, the thing that's different about this Sip and Paint is that most of these organizations that come together, you drink wine, things like that, and you do your artwork. But for the students that aren't 21 on campus, ABEVI kind of put together an organization so that those students can come too. So it's mocktails and paint. Probably not as fun, but you'll definitely have to check it out. We don't have the vote for it. We don't have the script for it.
A couple students who were just talking about how they've gone to Sip and Paints before, and you usually have to be 21. So we wanted to do something that students could do on campus just to kind of like release some stress and be able to sip and paint, but with mocktails instead of the actual alcohol.
Is dedicated to bringing creative experiences to campus. So be on the lookout for the rest of the events. I'd say that I'd make my way out to a Sip and Paint. Maybe not a mocktail Sip and Paint.
Well, you have to think, if you're not 21, it'd probably be the next best thing, you know?
Well, that sounds like a personal problem for them because I am 21. Along with that, we also have something that happens every year, probably in every state, but the state fair.
That's right. And if you've never been, which I know you haven't, Kevin, but you guys are definitely going to have to check it out. I know the food is my favorite part. I think it's worth the whole trip. So we have a story on that as well.
Every year, the State Fair brings dozens of games and rides to Columbia. And if there's one thing the fair is known for, it's the unique food you can only get this time of year. A fair visitor tells us why he likes the donut burgers so much.
It's pretty sweet and greasy at the same time, but it's just good.
Another popular sweet treat is a funnel cake. With so many toppings to choose from, fair visitor Trey Brown tells us about his special way of eating this dessert.
I like to get a mix of like the powdered sugar on top with also like the cinnamon and the sugar on top with the butter first on top, and that's good. I hate the elephant's ear because it's just straight up flat dough, and it takes away from the experience of having to, you know, pull apart, chew, pull apart, chew.
And some visitors come out every year just to get that special fair taste you can't find anywhere else.
And number two, there's nothing better than fair grease. It just makes the flavors go through, and it's just like a once-a-year treat.
As you can see, the fair draws huge crowds every single year, and this South Carolina State Fair is basically a Columbia tradition, and it looks like food will always be a part of that tradition. This has been Shannon Simmons with Winthrop Close-Up.
Certainly seems like Shannon had a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, it does look like a lot of fun. And in this holiday season, we also have our very own Brianna, who is a member of the track and field team here at Winthrop, and she took a step into the community to donate her time and service, and we're going to let her tell you a little bit more about that too.
Right, I did. Right on Cherry Road, Woodland United Methodist Church. It is in our local community, and they do an annual pumpkin patch every year. So for the past 20 years, it's when it started. They give back to the community by giving pumpkins. But why this relates to Winthrop University? Winthrop University's own track and field team goes every year and helps them unload the pumpkins. So the head coach, Ben Paxton, he's the one who initiated this and got the team involved and wanted to give back to the community. And I think that's a very good aspect for our athletic program.
You guys are involved like that.
Let's go ahead and check the story out.
The community of Rock Hill is familiar with the Winthrop Athletics program. The athletes are known for their athletic ability, but Winthrop's track and field team takes it a step further by getting involved.
Every year, I guess for about the last 20 years, Woodland United Methodist Church has done its pumpkin patch to raise money for the youth group to do mission work over the summer. I think we'll probably be doing a lot of hurricane recovery this upcoming summer, and all the proceeds go to getting a group of kids and youth directors down there to rebuild houses, repaint houses, and do whatever's needed.
We get a lot of pumpkins. For our first unload, we have had Winthrop Track come help us for the past several years. We also try to pull in folks from Rock Hill High and Northwestern in addition to just our church members, because it's a lot of work to get the truck unloaded.
This is an annual tradition for Winthrop's track team. Not only are the athletes giving back to the community, they're also getting a workout. Pumpkins typically weigh 12 to 18 pounds. The church members, volunteers, athletes, and even the kids are able to unload the truck full of pumpkins within 1 hour. The track team documents each year with a picture of the athletes and, of course, the pumpkins.
We all work together, and I got to meet new people and talk to new people and get involved with the community.
So did you have a lot of fun out there volunteering?
I did. Did you know pumpkins weigh 15 to 18 pounds? So I got to work out too. Yep.
Actually, you know what I realized earlier? I have been to the fair. That was a lie. I went when I was 10 years old, and I got to ride one of the horses. So imagine 10-year-old me on a big old horse.
Oh, Lord.
You been to the fair?
I have. The fair is fun. I like the food personally.
See,
I like the food more than the rides. Yep.
I guess apparently I'm missing out. We're gonna take a short break. We'll come back. We'll continue on our sports stories. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. Okay. So, the audience is dead. It's fine. Yeah, you know.
That's right.
Okay. All right. We'll be here for 20 more minutes.
Yeah, guys, don't worry about us.
No, do it on my tie. I like my tie better.
All right. I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then let go.
You can say it.
Yeah, you have to do your Alisa story first.
Mm.
Between the tennis stories. Okay.
Bet. Welcome back to What's Up Close Up. I'm Kevin Ausu.
And I'm Hagen Glenn.
All right, next up, we are actually going to go ahead into one of my stories that I did this semester.
That's right. Kevin made a friend, you guys.
I did make a friend. Before I headed off to Russia for my study abroad last fall, the study abroad office got me in contact with an international student by the name of Alisa to get me ready for Russia, because she's from Russia. And I got back and I needed to do a story this year, so I decided to do my sports profile on her. And she's one of the tennis players on the tennis team, obviously. We're going to take a look at that story.
Her freshman year, Alisa was nominated Freshman of the Year, and on top of having a 17-6 overall record with a 7-1 Big South record, she was also voted onto the All Big South singles and doubles team and is entering NCAA tournament play with 8 straight double victories.
Yeah, so she's just a sophomore, and I think the sky is the limit. So I feel like that with her, keep working hard as she is, I think that she's going to have great things ahead of her to be accomplished, on the court and off the court.
But what are Alisa's goals for the future?
I have 2 goals academically, to finish this year successful and be player of the year.
Changing countries isn't always the simplest thing, but for Alisa, she feels the transition has been a pretty smooth one.
Here, for me, it was a bit harder, like physically, but mentally, I think it's tougher playing in Russia. Because here I have like lots of support from my teammates, from the coaches, and back home I played like by my own. We didn't have like this teams at high school. I played just for myself.
Alisa is a tremendous player. She plays with a lot of heart. Her strength is that she has such a great willpower. She's a very good influence on the rest of her teammates. She brings a very good positive attitude to the courts every time she comes out, and so she's been a great addition to the program.
With all the accolades she already has under her belt, it's going to be really interesting to see what else Alisa can do over her next few years here. Even though playing professionally isn't on her mind right now, it's not a thought that's too far out from her, considering she has friends that are playing professionally now. Who knows? Maybe she'll get her own statue just like this one somewhere on campus. From Winthrop Close Up, this is Kevin Oates. Way to go. Solid start.
Okay.
So yes, Megan, there are updates to this story. What actually ended up happening, so they went to regionals, and Alisa ended up winning the consolation bracket, which is the first time that's happened in the school history. And they had another tournament down in Charleston, and she was number 1 in the singles and in the doubles. So I guess overall she had a pretty successful season.
Sounds like a good season to me. And just like Alisa and Brianna, we have another athlete here who also took a step out beyond the field this semester, and he also enjoyed his first year of coaching. So we also are going to take you to a story that he did on a local football team and their tragic events and led to this season.
So Nick, thanks for joining us.
Yep, no problem, anytime.
So if you could just give us a quick rundown of what happened with Ram Academy.
So last year, they were traveling to their first game in school history. It's actually a school locally in Rock Hill, South Carolina. It's a junior college, and they actually got in a bus accident, and it took the lives of 2 of their teammates. So yeah, that's just about it pretty much of the story. So
let's go ahead and take a look at it.
Yep.
In athletics, not all losses are on the field. Just last year, the Raham Academy's football team was traveling to their first ever game in program history when a bus accident took the lives of 2 of their teammates and injured over 40. KJ Williams talks a little bit about what it means to be back on the field.
I had something I had taken from me, and I don't know, once you get it back, it's a little more special, and you going to take it more serious. And then I don't know, I'm just ready to see my team, we succeed, we put in the work. You know what I'm saying? We've been through a lot, and I feel like it's going to pay off on game day.
Even though this accident is still fresh in some players' and coaches' memories, some new players are encouraging their teammates that everything will be just fine.
I try to motivate everybody that was here last year just to let them know I'm their brother, whatever they need, and what they need. They want to talk to me about it, anything. I mean, I make them feel comfortable around me. You know, I'm a good person, and I kind of feel. I tell them like, don't worry about it. Y'all friends from last year got a better place, and y'all got some new brothers that really gonna care about y'all brothers that y'all lost in the past. But, you know, we just let them know that we by their side.
And, you know, this is one of my favorite stories of the semester, just because even though this tragedy happened, you know, it was really great to see that team come back and strive this year.
Yeah.
It definitely needed to be shared.
And actually, they finished 5-5 this season, so above 500. So it was pretty good to see those guys rekindle with each other and actually become a team. Because I know after that situation, it'll definitely be hard. So
yeah,
Our
that's
thoughts
great.
and prayers are certainly with them. Besides, after doing that story, you actually coach football team, don't you?
Yeah, I coach at Chester High School football.
How'd that go this season?
We finished 9-3 on the season. We wanted to win state, but unfortunately we didn't. We ended up losing to Chapman. And bigger things are in the works for the Cyclones. So.
Well, if you need if you want to win state next year, and you need a wide receiver or something, let me know.
Okay.
Or just coaching tips.
So
you know,
coaching tips.
yeah.
So basically a wide receiver on a high school level who's in college.
Hey, let's go. Look.
Okay.
They'll
All
never
right.
know.
That sounds like a plan. That sounds like a plan.
Thanks for joining us,
Yeah,
Nick.
no
I hope you
problem.
have a great rest of your day.
Yep.
All right, so next up, we are actually going to look at that since I want to be an athlete. We're going to check out buddy training.
And this is one of my favorite stories of the semester. Josh just turned out a good number of stories this year that I really enjoyed, so we'll take a look at this one.
The West Center is taking personal training to a whole new level with a new concept to Winthrop called buddy training.
Now we have something where if you and your roommate, or if you're just not as comfortable in the gym as one of your friends, or you just need someone to kind of keep you going, you'll be able to come and do personal training one-on-one with your friend for $7 per person per session.
Buddy training gives people an avenue to a healthier lifestyle who don't have the confidence level in the gym to do it by themselves.
Right now I'm in the weight room working out by myself. However, if I had a buddy to work out with, I'll get a lot more motivation to keep going.
The gym can be a scary place, especially if you don't know how to work out or don't have anyone to work out with.
A lot of people feel like there's a lot of pressure on them training one-on-one with someone, especially if they're very new and they don't have an experience. So the buddy training, it allows you to get the attention that you need, but it also eliminates the pressure. It makes it more fun. And if you're with someone that you already know and are comfortable with, it'll make the whole situation more comfortable.
This program is brand new to Winthrop and ready to hit the ground running, so sign up today. This is Josh Rogers, Winthrop Close-Up.
Wasn't that a good story?
Yeah, it was a pretty
I
good
think my
story.
favorite part is just how involved Josh gets into his pieces.
Oh,
the
yeah.
different angles and things like that, working on the workout machines.
Oh yeah, for sure. And well, while we're talking about Josh and his great stories, he did another one that actually Matt, Josh, and I, and we went out to the Winthrop Disc Golf, not even Winthrop Disc Golf Championship, the National Disc Golf, the U.S. Disc Golf, there's a Disc Golf Championship. That's the thing that blows my mind.
And it actually was a big deal. So we're going to get you guys to take a look at that story too.
To many people's surprise, the Winthrop Disc Golf course is phenomenal and is loved and known by all professional disc golfers.
Like I said, this is my first time here, and I knew every single hole by heart. I knew all the distances, I knew every pin location, everything. I can tell you stuff that's happened over here on 18 back in 2007, before I was even playing golf. Like that's, you know, this is our masters.
Disc golf players not only dream to play in the United States Championship, but to even play a casual round on the Winthrop course.
The disc golf course here at Winthrop is legendary and is known as one of, if not the best disc golf course in the world.
The course may seem direct at first, but once the championship rolls around, it's a whole different ballgame.
People say that it's a pretty straightforward course, you know, year-round until they bring out the ropes and everything and set it up. And I think it really has to do with all the history here. The pillars of disc golf that have been here, that have won titles here, that have defended their titles here, everything, all the emotion that's tied into every hole.
There is no other disc golf course like the course at Winthrop. This is Josh Rogers, Winthrop Close-Up.
5. Yeah, so that was a big event that happened that I think most people don't even know happens on Winthrop property, period.
And I definitely didn't know anything about it before that. Apparently Winthrop has one of the nicest disc golf courses in the nation. So it's kind of cool that you guys were out there and got to experience
So
that.
like, you didn't know anything about the competition or about disc golf?
At all, either one.
Nothing about disc golf?
Nothing really.
You don't go out
You throw a
and throw the
frisbee and that's about
yeah,
all.
that's about it. You throw it in the net. So next we had a Quidditch story, but that is not happening. Let's do that again. Can we do that again? Definitely want to do that again.
Start from after. Okay, the package just ended.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Cool. No Quidditch. So then
Yeah,
we go
and we'll
straight
just
to the
go
kickers.
straight to kickers.
to the kickers.
Okay.
Cool. So, you know, that certainly was a lot of fun to film. I mean, it was a tough time because you have to like walk around the whole course with the camera and the tripod. So it got a little tedious at times, but it was a lot of fun, especially something that no one really knows about, that is happening on Winthrop property. Period.
And that is a really cool event that happens here. Winthrop has one of the top courses in the nation for disc golf, so you guys should definitely check it out next year if you have the chance to come by.
You sound like you know a lot about disc golf.
I really don't. Frisbee in the net is about all I know.
Yeah, that's about all there is to it, honestly. Well, it's gonna close out the show from here, but a couple more stories. You had an internship this semester, didn't you?
That's right. I actually had the opportunity to intern with KISS 95.1, which is the fastest growing morning show in Charlotte. And I'll tell you guys more about it and how I spent this semester. You guys can check it out.
To work for KISS, working for KISS 95.1 is a nightmare. I'm just kidding. It's awesome.
You try and make your morning commute a little more entertaining so you can forget about the real world. Let people know what's going on, Roy.
Well, it is World Record Week!
Going first, your record is what?
Sang as many Eminem songs as I can while eating M&Ms. Grab God, love the way you lie. Damn.
She's dropping M&Ms.
Till I clap. Look at me, Mockingbird. When I'm going, you're from Shady, you're Shady, you're Monster, you're Corner, Forever, Youthful, Spiritual, Young One, and walk on water! I love being part of this show because it really is real people. When they laugh, it's real laughs. You know, when they argue with each other, they're really arguing. It's very authentic and it's fun. I mean, you'll never come to work and have a bad time. She got all the way down? And I added one more.
You added one more?
His latest was Beyonce.
Oh my. Alright, so now we have to upload it to the website, and you know
I love working with the guys because our show is very authentic. It's like having coffee with 3 of your best friends in the morning.
You know, we do a morning radio show where our number one goal is just to make people laugh and escape reality. We don't talk about politics because you can see that stuff everywhere. We don't talk about the bad things. It's like a little safety net of fun and laughter, and I get to wake up every morning and do that.
So is your internship finishing out this semester or is through the year?
I actually finished out this week, so it'll be my last week there. But it's been a great experience. I've had a lot of fun there. You should definitely check it out if you haven't before.
Any big plans after graduation?
Not yet. Just job searching, pretty much. So hopefully all those will fill up the resume real nice, and we'll get a good job out of it.
Are you looking to go more into the radio route since you did the 95?
It's all up in the air. I'm open to whatever.
That sounds like everyone else graduating. Let's see what happens. So yeah, I guess the semester's closing up. It's been a blast on here on the for Winthrop Close-Up. It's been a good time.
That's right, and Matt Lee actually did one of our favorite stories for everybody at Close-Up this semester, and he kind
of a lot of favorite stories.
He did. Well, we had a lot of good ones.
That's true.
But he took a scene, behind-the-scenes aspect of what Close-Up is, and it's going to show you guys what this class is, how much fun it is, but also the hard work put in and how it all pays off in the end.
My favorite part about being on Close-Up is working with the team and getting experience to work different positions, and also being able to be an anchor and get that experience as well.
One of my favorite things about Close-Up is when we get to go in the broadcast studio to get to put together like all the pieces. I love getting to use all the different equipment.
Good thing, for sure, making the show. Like that's the most fun. So much banter. Everyone makes fun of everyone when someone messes up, and it's just a lot of fun.
I like working the cameras down in the studio. I think that's probably even though it is kind of difficult, it is fun at the same time.
Of course, anchoring, but I also like reporting, and I would say my third favorite is probably running teleprompter.
My favorite is probably either being an anchor or doing
being a sports reporter, since that's kind of what I want to do. So getting the experience to do that is pretty fun.
If you're looking to get into news production, this is a good way to get a lot of experience to work on your reel, because actually that's what I ended up doing, the stories I did in close-up or what I used for my portfolio.
Say if you're interested in news and or anything in like the movie or film industry, definitely take it, because even if news isn't your direct passion, this is one of the best classes to get a lot of practice with shooting, editing, and repeating the process.
It's a very demanding class, but it's very fun when it all comes together in the end and you see what you all created as a class.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for this semester with the close-up.
We hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you sign up for this class next semester. We've had a great semester here, and we'd like to thank all of you guys for tuning in.
So have good luck on exams, have a happy holidays, and this is with the close-up signing out for the fall semester. Scattered applause. Scattered applause.
North, can you take a picture? Because we're already set up.
He's not gonna break out with me.
Shouldn't Norts be in the picture?
He loves me.
Yeah, just make it a selfie, Norts. Just turn around.
What?
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Why?
Look, y'all look so happy.
We're not. We're dead inside.
I hate Kevin so much.
I hate me too. It's all right.
Okay, great, love it.
You gonna, right? Wait, you gonna join one of Norts? You gonna join? Norts has to get in.
Yeah.
No, you gotta get in on one,
Would you
Norts.
be like really mad at me? Make sure like you would be mad, but like you wouldn't be like that mad at me.